I built a $28,000 Etsy shop selling digital products as a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. No social media, no paid ads, just a simple step-by-step process that anyone can follow. I've also helped over 900 beginners in my mentorship program, The Sales Sprint, make their very first sale on Etsy, even if they've never sold anything online before. Most new Etsy sellers waste months changing logos, overthinking their niche, or posting on Instagram with nothing to show for it. That's why so many people quit before they ever make their first sale. But whenever you focus on the right steps, you don't just get views, you actually start making consistent sales. That's how I turned one simple Etsy shop into over $28,000 in revenue. And in this video, I'll walk you through the exact process I followed so you can skip the mistakes, save time, and start making money on Etsy faster. The first step is the most important, and it's where most new sellers get stuck. Step 1, choose a profitable product idea. Before you open your Etsy shop, you have to know which digital products are actually selling. Too many beginners just create something random and hope it sells. The smarter approach is to research first so you can model what's already working. Here's one way to do it. Go to Etsy and type in a broad product idea like invitation template or budget spreadsheet. For this example, we'll use budget spreadsheet. This gives you a wide range of ideas so you can see what's selling. Next, we're going to come over here to where it says most relevant, and we are going to change this to newest. This is going to show you the newest listings for this keyword. To narrow it down even further, we are going to find the best sellers for this keyword. So we're going to go over here to show filters. You're going to go down to Etsy's best, click star seller. So now we have the budget spreadsheet, the newest listings, and all of these sellers are star sellers, but we don't want the star sellers. We want the best selling products. So we're going to come up here. This is called the URL, and we are just going to change this star right here to best. So now we have the best-selling budget spreadsheets that have been recently uploaded to Etsy. Now, if we scroll down and skip all of the ads, you'll notice these listings with popular now or bestseller badges. That's Etsy telling us that these products are in high demand and they are getting a high volume of sales. I also like using the Everbee Chrome extension, which is this right here. I mainly like to look at how old the listing is, so the listing age, and I like to look at the monthly sales. So we can see here, this one is getting over 700 sales, over 40 sales per month, over 130 sales per month. And then this one here, we can see it's popular now, but Everbee is showing it at 0 monthly sales, and that's because the data just sometimes takes time to catch up. Whenever I'm looking for product ideas, I like to look for products that have been listed, the listing age is less than 1 year. The younger the listing, the better. If it's already a bestseller, it means that demand is hot and there's still room for you to jump in. And so now I want to show you something just so you can get a quick warning. So instead of budget spreadsheet, I'm going to type in invitation template. Okay, and I'm just going to scroll down so I can find you what I want you to see. Okay, so look at this one right here. This is Minecraft. What you don't want to do is list copyrighted products, and you will see this a lot in the invitation space. So if you see things like Bluey invitations, Taylor Swift merch, Disney characters, or anything tied to a brand, make sure you skip it. Do not use that product idea. That is someone else's intellectual property, and Etsy can shut down your shop. And you could also get sued by the creator of that brand. Instead, you want to stick with generic but high demand products. So like this autumn wildflower wedding invitation, that is generic. Or this Halloween party, very generic. So you want to stick with generic product ideas that are not tied to someone else's business. But the goal isn't to reinvent the wheel. The goal is to build a list of proven product ideas so you can fill your shop with items that have a better chance of becoming a best-selling item too. Now let's move into step number 2, turn templates into profitable products. So now here we are over here back on our budget spreadsheet. So let's say you decided to make a budget spreadsheet template. Instead of spending weeks designing it from scratch, you can use PLR products. That stands for Private Label Rights. This simply means someone else created the product, but they are giving you the rights to edit it and resell it as your own. Here's how it works. To find a PLR product, you can simply go over to Google and you're gonna wanna type in the product idea that you're thinking of. So we want to make a budget spreadsheet, so we are just going to type PLR budget spreadsheet. So if you are making a digital planner, you would type in PLR digital planner. So whatever product idea you want to create, just make sure you type in PLR before that. So let's type in PLR budget spreadsheet. So notice here, all of these say PLR or master resell rights, which master resell rights again is giving you the right to resell it. So you want to make sure that it says either PLR or commercial use or master resell rights, something that lets you know you can take this product and resell it as your own. Now, sometimes you'll type in PLR product type and you will get a bunch of products that are not PLR. So definitely look for master resell rights or PLR. Once you find one that you like, you'll want to make edits. And what I like to do is design my products with one person in mind and focus on solving that problem for them. So if I am making a budget spreadsheet, I am going to open this product in whatever it is, Google Sheets, Excel, whatever software, and I am going to change the colors around. I might move elements around, but I am going to make this the best product I can for the specific type of person that I'm making it for. So whatever problem it's solving. So a budget spreadsheet is helping someone get their finances in order. And so I am going to add whatever I can and make this as simple as possible for someone to use who is new to budgeting. But you definitely want to put your own spin on the product to make it more unique so it stands out on Etsy. And as you can see here, many of these PLR products cost around $10 or less than $10. But once you edit them, you can turn that $10 into hundreds or thousands a month. So think of this as an investment in your time. Instead of struggling for weeks if you're not a graphic designer, because I am not a graphic designer, so I live for PLR templates, you will be able to shortcut this process, customize a done for you template, and start selling on Etsy way faster than designing it yourself. Now let's move into step 3. Create listing photos that sell. A listing photo is simply the image buyers see when they are scrolling through Etsy. So all of these are listing photos. What you'll want to do is look at the products that have this bestseller badge or popular now badge and see how they are presenting their product. And don't worry that a lot of these are cut off. Etsy is testing listing photo sizes right now, so these will be adjusted when Etsy gets that all sorted out. Before the holiday season, Etsy usually tests new features and designs and layouts just to see what will help us make more sales before we go into the holiday season. So right now they're testing listing photos, so that's why all of these look cut off, but it'll all get figured out and everything will go back to normal. So I'm going to click into this budget spreadsheet. We can see here it has over 700 monthly sales and its listing age is about 5 months. So that is showing me that a lot of people want this. And then here Etsy is also telling me it's in demand. 24 people bought this in the last 24 hours. So what you're going to want to look out with your listing photos is you're going to want to see how they are presenting this. So we can see here at the top, they have what the product is, the Ultimate Budget 3.0. They are telling you some features, annual, monthly, paycheck, so different ways you can use this product. And look how they're keeping it super simple, like one word, annual, monthly, paycheck. They're not saying you can use this annually, monthly, and to budget each paycheck you get every other week when you get, like they're not using 50 different words. They are keeping it very simple and to the point. And then they're also calling out some other key features to help their product stand out amongst the competition. So they're letting you know there's a bill calendar, syncing funds, debt tracker. And then one question people are going to want to know is, can I use this in Google Sheets or can I use this in Excel? They're answering this down here, instant download, Google Sheets and Excel. And that is the purpose of your listing photos. You aren't just showing us how pretty your product is, you are letting us know why we should buy this product over the competition. And look here, they're saying no copy paste required. And so they are putting that so you know that other people's products, you may have to copy and paste those, But this one, you don't have to do that. So they are calling out a feature that will make them stand out amongst all of the other listings on Etsy. And so that's what you'll want to do with every single listing photo. See here, they're telling you choose your style. They're letting you know all of these different options they have available, and they're saying use it indefinitely, year after year. This is a great selling point. So they're saying you don't have to keep buying this over and over and over again. You can buy this one time and keep using it year after year, which sounds like an incredible value for the customer. And that's how they can get away too with selling it at over $10, because people are like, oh, I only have to buy this once. So $10 one time and I can use this forever. Like, that's a no-brainer. Your listing photos need to answer 3 big questions the buyer may have. The first question is, what exactly am I getting? The second question is, how do I use it? And the third question is, why should I buy this instead of the other similar options? If you don't answer those questions, buyers will keep scrolling. And if you have no idea how to make listing photos that stop the scroll and turn into sales, I have a video for you, so you can watch that right over here. I'll link it up above for you. Now we are ready for step 4, list your product on Etsy. When you are listing a new product, the most important thing you want to focus on is SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. And that's just a fancy way of saying you want to be using the words buyers are typing into the Etsy search bar so they can find your product. A simple way to find keywords or words that buyers are typing into the Etsy search bar is to find the type of product you want to list. So we are still here on our budget spreadsheet. I'm going to scroll all the way down, and you're going to get down here to this explore related searches section. And this is Etsy telling you keywords that people are typing in to find products like this. And so you can just hover over them and Etsy will tell you. So monthly budget template, you'll want to include that in your title, your tags, and your description is where you want to include your keywords. So monthly budgets template, Excel budget, finance tracker, digital budget tracker. And so our goal here is to not repeat the same thing over and over and over again. So if you're using budget spreadsheet, then you also want to use Excel template, and then you'd also want to use finance tracker. So you want to use the different variations someone could type into the Etsy search bar to find your product. And with your SEO, you want to make sure you are using as close to all 140 characters in your title as you can. And you want to make sure you're skipping words like for and the, because those words take up space and they are unnecessary. So with your title, make sure you are using all 140 characters if you can. And for your tags, make sure you are using all 13 tags. That just gives you way more opportunities to show up in multiple search results. Whenever you repeat your keywords in your title, tags, and description, that makes Etsy crystal clear what your product is so they can show it to the right people, because we don't just want any random views. We want views from people who want to buy our product. And so whenever you are using the same keywords in your title, your tags, and your description for that product, Etsy is positive who to show this to, and that way, whenever you get views, they will convert into sales. Step 5 of this process is to kickstart your first sale. Etsy loves active shops. And once you start getting orders, reviews, and engagement, your listings are more likely to show up in search results. Here are a few simple strategies you can use to kickstart things and make your first sale faster. The first strategy is to run a grand opening sale. When you are brand new, a discount can make a huge difference. Try running a 50 to 70% off sale for your first month. It gives buyers an incentive to take a chance on you, and when you discount your products, you can increase your chances of showing up in search results because Etsy knows that buyers love discounts too. The second strategy is to add a shop banner and announcement about the sale. You'll want to update your shop banner to say something like, grand opening sale, everything 50% off. Even if you have just one product, it's 50% off, so let people know about it. And then with your shop announcement, you'll want to say something like, get your finances in order, everything is 50% off the month of September. Adding the sale in your shop banner and your shop announcement builds trust and adds urgency. The third thing you can do is highlight the sale in your listing photos. Buyers are scrolling quickly, So with your thumbnail listing photo, which is that main photo that shows up in Etsy search results, you can put on sale right there on the listing photos. Buyers scroll quickly, so make sure they can tell at a glance that your product is discounted. Add a simple on sale badge or banner to your thumbnail listing image. This will make your listing quickly stand out from the other listings that are full price. The fourth strategy to get your first sale quickly is to add a freebie or bonus to your product. If you have only one digital product in your shop, you can still sweeten the deal by giving them something for free when they purchase. For example, if you are selling the budget spreadsheet template, you can give them a free savings goal tracker as a bonus. Or if you're selling a Halloween invitation, you can give them a free thank you card template as a bonus. The bonus doesn't need to take you long to create, but it makes your offer feel more valuable and gives the buyer a reason to buy now. And then the fifth thing you can do to get your first sale faster is to ask friends and family for an honest review. If you have supportive people in your life, ask them to purchase something from your shop in exchange for their honest review. Reviews matter a lot on Etsy. They give buyers confidence to purchase. The key here isn't just to make a sale, it's to start building momentum. Once your shop gets a few orders and reviews, Etsy's algorithm has proved that buyers like your products and they will start showing your listings to more people. Now let's hop into a bonus, which is 5 pro tips to help you reach your first 100 sales faster. First, you can sell both physical and digital products in the same shop. I get this question a lot. You do not need to manage 2 different shops, and I highly recommend you do not try to manage more than one Etsy shop. Just make sure your digital products clearly say instant download in the listing photos so buyers know that nothing will be shipped to them. Pro tip number 2 is you do not need to niche your entire shop. Instead, you can niche your categories. For example, you could have a category for digital planners, invitation templates, and printable games. This way, it's easier for buyers to find what they're looking for, and you don't have to box yourself into a niche that may not make any sales. I prefer my students to test different product ideas, and once they start making sales, they can double down on what's selling. The third pro tip is to skip social media for now. The main thing you want to focus on when you're new is mastering the Etsy algorithm. But if you are tempted to hop on social media, the only platform I recommend when you're just starting is using Facebook groups. What you'll want to do is go into niche specific groups. So let's say you have a postpartum fitness journal. You'll want to go into fitness groups full of postpartum moms, and you can talk to the admin and see if you can promote your product in there. And sometimes they'll charge like $20 a month, or they will charge per promo post, but they will allow you to promote your products in there if you speak with the admin. So definitely don't just go into random Facebook groups and drop the link to your product. Speak with the admin first and see if they allow promo in the Facebook group, and if they do, work out a plan with them to see how much it can cost. The fourth pro tip is to take your listing photos seriously. So many people spend so much time on the product itself and then they rush through the listing photos. But if your listing photos aren't good and don't instantly convey the value of your product, we aren't even going to get to see how good your product is. So your listing photos need to be a top priority and should not be rushed through. You don't just want to show us how awesome your product is, you have to communicate the value of your product. How is it going to save me time? How is it going to make my life better? How will it make my life easier? Why should I buy your product over the other products? Your listing photos need to tell me that in as little words as possible. And the fifth pro tip is to make sure that you are adding in seasonal and trending products. This is one of the fastest ways to get sales. Seasonal items like Valentine's Day cards, Christmas games, or summer chore charts can bring in high demand with very low competition. You want to try to list your seasonal products at least 30 days before the actual holiday, so Etsy has time to index your products and they know exactly where to show them in search results. In my mentorship program, The Sales Sprint, I show you the exact step-by-step process I've used to build a $28,000 Etsy shop only working while my kids were sleeping because I am a busy homeschooling stay-at-home mom. Whether you are just getting your shop up and running or you have a shop that's struggling to get views and sales, I show you exactly how to make sales on Etsy with no ads and no social media. That is the focus of the Sales Sprint, helping you make consistent sales on Etsy. I still remember the first time I heard that little cha-ching notification. It wasn't a huge amount of money, but it was proof that I was working towards something real. From there, every new sale built my confidence, and it showed me what was possible if I just kept going. And that's what I want for you, to experience that same shift from is this going to work to I know exactly what to do to make more money on Etsy. And if you have no idea what digital product to sell, make sure you watch this video next where I walk you through 7 beginner-friendly Canva template ideas, and I even give you a few of the templates inside of the Sales Sprint so you can make sales even faster.